Enharmonics, it's a musical term that sounds complex, but it means something fairly simple. It really means that something has two different names. Now, we can have enharmonic keys, scales, intervals, or notes. For the purpose of this video, we are going to be explaining enharmonic notes. And to help us with that, we will use this piano keyboard. So we can understand this concept of one thing having two different names because think about Bruce Wayne. He has two different names depending on where he is and what he's doing. And he uses a different name depending on what his purpose is for where he is and what he's doing. So same thing with notes is that depending on what key they're in or what they're doing, if they're going up or going down, they have different names, or they can have different names. So we'll use this piano keyboard. Here we will start with this note C. So if we take this C and we make this note sharp, that means that we raise that C by 1/2 step, and now it is played on this piano key. If we take the next note up, this D, and make this D flat, that means that we lower it by 1/2 step, and it's now played on the same piano key as the C sharp. So that means C sharp and D flat are enharmonic equivalent notes. They are played on the same piano key. They will sound exactly the same to the listener, but it can be written as a C sharp or a D flat. And on any instrument, C sharp and D flat could be played with the same fingering and sound the same to the listener, but they could be written differently depending on what the music is doing. Let's continue with this. So this D now can be made into a D sharp, and the next note up, E, can be made flat. So we have a D sharp and an E flat that are played on the same key that will sound exactly the same. So D sharp and E flat are enharmonic equivalent notes. I'll keep going up here. So this F we can make sharp. So this F sharp will be played on this key. And then the very next note, G, can be made flat, a 1/2 step lower. So we see that F sharp and G flat are also enharmonic equivalent notes. Let's continue on. Notice that there is a pattern developing. We have a G sharp, and then this A can be made flat, which gives us A flat and G sharp on the same key. Notice that the lower note is sharp and the higher note is flat, and that is the pattern we have so far. Notice that I skipped over E and F. I will also skip over B and C until we get to the next step. So A, making A sharp, and the next note up is B. We make B flat. A sharp and B flat are enharmonic equivalent notes. And to end this pattern, here we are C. So whenever you have notes that are a whole step apart, meaning on piano that you have a key in between, if you have the lower note sharp and the higher note flat, you have enharmonic equivalent notes. So I will continue on with this E and F and the B and the C. Can they also be enharmonic equivalent notes? Well, you'll have to listen to the next video to find out.